part of my personal development program, in 2013, I enrolled for 2 courses with the Kofi Annan International Peacekeeping Training Center in Ghana. And because the cost of these courses were far more expensive than my means and I had to pay my flight, I decided to take a round trip to Benin, and from Benin to travel by road passing through Togo to Ghana. The information and the data I had, Cameroonians could get a visa on arrival. And I left Cameroon to Benin, and when I got to the airport, I was told the visa on arrival no longer holds. And so they put me in more or less a cell or a jail, and I stayed there for over 10 hours. Later on, they released me and asked me and gave me the visa on arrival. So I left Benin, traveled to Ghana, passing through Togo. On my way back, and because there were a lot of immigration hurdles on the road, I almost arrived late at the airport. Rushed in there on the bike, I got at the airport. The long and short was that I got on that flight as the last person. This experience has given me a couple of lessons, and I want to use this to address 2 key issues. The first is about the data that we use. I left Cameroon based on what I heard others have done before. I left Cameroon without checking the data. I would have checked the data if it was still valid. And you see, most of us, that's how we run our lives. We run our lives, we run our countries, we run our nations, we run our organizations, our families with 16th century data. We are in the 21st century, but we run our lives with 17th century data. It's like trying to use a typewriter in this computer age. Most of us, the data that we use in making decisions are basically data that others told us how it worked or it didn't work for them. And we don't upgrade and we don't check if what we are using is the right information. We move on in life, but the kind of data that we still use is old data. We have to upgrade. The second lesson that I came to learn about this experience or this story is that when I got to the airport that day from going back to Cameroon from Ghana, I took a bike. And I know probably some people were chauffeur driven. Some arrived probably 4 hours, some 2 hours, some 30 minutes, and waited at the airport. And it makes me to think that sometime in life, you think that those who arrive at a certain level have gone ahead of you. Some people have gone ahead of you. They got married before you. They got their degrees before you. They got a job before you. But the long and short is, if you walk with God and if you're faithful, God has a way to make you get on that flight where others have arrived 10 hours before, 10 years before, 20 years before. He knows how to compensate. You may arrive as the last person on the flight. God knows how to make you to arrive on that